Hello everyone, back with yet another recap on today's trading. Today is March 13th, 2024, Wednesday. This is a trade that I took today, but before we dive into it, I really hope that all the videos that we're putting forward in this YouTube channel is helping for anyone who watches it, is helping you little by little in understanding the markets a little better. Uh, Today I was looking to trade Kiwi dollar and Aussie dollar, shared it with the community too. Did not turn out to be as expected, so this is a reminder that not every day is going to be a wonderful day. You're going to be wrong, you're going to be right. Um, you're going to be not able to trade on some specific days, and you're going to lose money too. But with this specific trade that I took, I did not lose any money. I actually made a little bit of money, but this wasn't the best of the trades, right? I'm just gonna walk you through briefly. This is for my own good, the post analysis, and if it helps you to any extent, I'd be happy to share it with you guys. Okay, so I was looking for, if you all remember, and you all been through my pound dollar trade from yesterday, after the CPI on dollar, I was hoping for the CPI to continue to strengthen dollar a little bit, not for good, because the overall trend on dollar is that of a seller. Dollar is being sold, but I was hoping for a little bit of momentum in the pullback on dollar. So I was um hoping to ride this all the way down to here. Did not happen. Just gonna walk you through why the trade was taken, and where I got out of the trade. Uh, Explained it to one of the students too. So he basically got in on Aussie dollar, where I got in on Kiwi dollar. I shared both of them. Both of them were, in this area. Although Aussie's gotten pretty strong, but in this area, both of them look more or less the same. Take you to Kiwi dollar in this area, both of them look more or less the same. But of course, Kiwi was um, weaker than Aussie. You could see the only reason I go to this chart, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, is to figure out if I am to trade any one of these. The only reason why I visit this chart is to try and figure out which one of these is weaker, right? And you can clearly see on this chart that Aussie is stronger than Kiwi, right? That is why I chose Kiwi dollar over Aussie dollar. So anyway, just gonna walk you through the price action on this. Did not perform as expected, but I did make a little bit of money off of it. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I was looking at this sell that happened with CPI yesterday. Initially sold, CPI came out. This chart initially sold all the way down to there, then it bought all the way up to there, and then it sold all the way down to there. So in my mind, if I'm looking at this time frame specifically, in my mind, the seller is in control now, and you can see it by how the buyer has been coming up all along since after that sell. Picks up pace here. Let me just get rid of all of these brushes so that you can have a clear idea of what I'm talking about. One more brush. Okay, cool. Okay, so it picks up pace. The buyer picks up pace in here. So new buyer in all of this big picture. New buyer. This one candle that you see in there, the price pulls back, breaks through it. So now it's this buyer. This is my read of the price action, right? This is how I'm reading it. Okay. Uh, Breaks through, goes all the way up to there, chop, 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 pull back, maybe range, whatever, holds, buys again, breaks through this. So it's this buyer in my mind now. And then basically I was reading the pullback on 3 minutes, and on 3 minutes you can see that it's this buyer, right? This buyer that buys, breaks through, goes all the way up to there, and then the seller comes in, basically goes through this. So puts in a lower high and a lower low, followed by a lower high, right? Just gonna Get rid of the brushes again so it's a little bit clear. Okay, here we go. All right, so in the process of this pullback, this is the buyer that buys, goes up to there, and then the price falls down, puts in a lower low, puts in a lower high, goes for a lower low. Right around um, half an hour after Frankfurt opened, right around London opened, the price just came all the way back up to there. Now the difference in this price coming up sharply, I understand, but if it was to buy from here, let's say if this is the buyer, this is one set of pullback, uh, goes higher high, puts in a higher low, so people are getting in on the buy side. The buy doesn't perform, and then takes out the stop losses, liquidity, whatnot. Then it starts to go. If it is to go, right, then it should do something like this. If it's coming down, coming down, coming down, it should come all the way up to here and then do a little bit of position building before it goes higher, right? What happens in this case is it just continues to push chop higher, right? Chop, 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 continues to come all the way up to there. As it comes all the way up to there, I'm further lower on a time frame. So basically, I personally look for entries on 15 seconds. It's a very small time frame, so just beware if you're on that small a time frame. But here I am. So here's how I'm reading this. This is your first break of structure or whatever, basically the seller coming back, and then another sign of lower high and lower low that the seller is in control, and then the price goes up basically to do what? As we've discussed multiple times, if the seller is to sell, the buyers needs to be introduced into the markets, right? And then the price comes up. Towards the end of it, picks up pace. Towards the end of it, it picks up pace and then just smashes down, right? So I'm down on 15 seconds. I'm watching this carefully, and as this seller, you know, the price goes up from here to here, right? In the process of just get rid of all these brushes again. Yeah, so in the process of this coming up from down here all the way up to there, buyer, 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 buyer from here, and then the price just comes all the way down to here after a little bit of a pause. So as the price comes up, this is where I entered the trade. Stop losses above where obviously the seller came back initially, because if this is my seller, then the price should not go higher than this. It tries to come higher. My stop loss survived, and then it started to go. Uh, there were multiple problems with this as it starts to go. First of all, it's very slow to my liking. If you take a look at 15 minutes, it takes a lot of time to go all the way down to there. As it breaks through this area, I start to feel a little more confident in the trade. But here's the thing: as it comes back up high, of course, it was going to get some problems here because this is a resistance turns support. So as the price comes back into this area, it should, react as a support, and that's what it did, right? That is what it did, and this is where you need to try and understand what the price action is telling you, if the trade is worth holding on to or not. So my targets were all the way down to here, not for a lower low. I wasn't going to hold for a lower low. The reason being is overall direction on dollar, it's pretty weak. But, coming in today from yesterday after the CPI, that came out strong. Dollar pushed for, a little bit of strength, could be a pullback. You can go through other dollars in your own time and you'd be able to understand that dollar did not really pull through with strength. It was just a bit of pullback, and now dollars are weak again. Uh, but the idea of how the price action is working, you should be able to understand it by now. If you've been going through all of our videos step by step, you should be able to understand what we're actually looking for in the market. So this is where the trade was taken, stop loss above this, as it takes its sweet ass time to come all the way down to here. So it's basically about 3 or 4 hours that it comes down to here, and then it pushes back up. Now, in my mind, if this attempt cannot go for a lower low, I'm getting out. Why? Because there's something wrong down here. If the seller is selling to make money, why is it having such a hard time to go? So as I was watching this, the price, um, hold on. Yeah. So the price chopped around here for a little while, and then the buyer buys. So basically, death of this seller in the process of this lower high, lower low. This is the death of this seller that puts in a higher low, goes for a higher high, and then the price shoots down. Right? As this price shoots down, if it cannot go now, it's not gonna go, because what happened here is basically turning people to the wrong side. That in this case is the seller turning people to the sell side. This adds fuel to that bias of sell side, and then the price starts to buy. So as it started to come up, I closed my positions down here. It's, I think, about 3R. Not too sure. Let's just find out. Yeah, so this is, um, the, this take profit is too over ambitious, but where I got out, yeah, it's about 4R, I think. Yeah. Yeah, more or less 4R. Let's just figure out exactly how much it is. 4.1R, right? So I did make some money off of it. Now, again, I did not risk a full 1% on this. I generally, the trades that I'm confident in, I tend to risk 1% on them. On this trade, I was not very confident, but that is why I did not risk a full 1% on this. It was about 0.4%, and I made 4 hours, so it's not a lot of money, right? It's about 1.6 R. Yeah, 1.6%. Yeah, that's what I made on this. But just to show you guys that, you're not always right. There'll be more times when you're wrong, but what you gotta do is stick to your analysis and the education that you've had. As long as you stick to it and be disciplined, you're going to be profitable. You're going to be profitable by leaps and bounds. All right. Uh, anyway, this was about today. Let's see what markets bring us tomorrow. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.